Imagine a world where new vaccines roll out during a crisis without the nagging fear of unknown side effects. That's the bold promise behind a groundbreaking global initiative just announced. In a move that's set to revolutionize how we monitor vaccine safety, especially in places that need it most, a new network is launching to track and share vital data from 6 countries spanning 3 continents. But here's where it gets really exciting. This isn't just about watching for problems, it's about building trust and speed in our fight against future pandemics. On October 29 in Oslo, coinciding with the annual general meeting of the Developing Countries Vaccine Manufacturers Network, DCVMN, in Bali, Indonesia, the world got a first look at the International Network for Vaccine Safety Surveillance, or INNOVATE for short. This innovative setup will kick off at 9 different locations across Brazil, Ethiopia, India, Indonesia, Kenya, and South Africa. Backed by a generous $5.51 million investment from CEPI over the next 3 years, the project is being spearheaded by the India-based International Clinical Epidemiology Network Trust International, INCLEN, and the Geneva-headquartered DCVMN. For those new to this, think of it as a safety net, a system that collects real-world data to help spot any rare issues early, making sure vaccines are as safe as possible before they're widely used. At its core, this $5.5 million effort is all about gathering essential safety information for emerging vaccines in low and middle-income countries, LMICs, where health resources can be stretched thin. It partners with DCVMN and INCLEN to bolster CEPI's ambitious 100 Days mission, a plan to create safe, effective vaccines in just 100 days when a pandemic threat emerges, and overall preparedness for global health emergencies. All the data collected will be shared openly, empowering health experts everywhere to respond smarter and faster to outbreaks. And this is the part most people miss. By focusing on LMICs, which often get overlooked in vaccine research, INNOVATE aims to close a massive gap in global equity. So what exactly will this network track? Researchers will monitor the natural occurrence rates of certain medical events that can happen to anyone, regardless of vaccination, like Guillain-Barré syndrome, a rare disorder where the immune system attacks nerves, causing weakness or paralysis, thrombosis with thrombocytopenia syndrome, a condition involving unusual blood clots and low platelet counts, and anaphylaxis, a severe, potentially life-threatening allergic reaction. For beginners, understanding these baseline rates is like having a normal temperature reading before checking for a fever. It helps distinguish everyday health risks from potential vaccine-related signals. This is crucial for picking up early warning signs during immunization campaigns and for carefully managing any risks when rolling out new shots. Picture INNOVATE as a global safety blanket for vaccines, ready to spring into action whenever needed. It provides CEPI-backed vaccine creators with a plug-and-play surveillance system for quick pharmacovigilance, the science of detecting, assessing, and preventing adverse effects, right in the heat of an outbreak. This means vaccine makers and health officials can act swiftly and smartly, cutting down response times that could save lives. With networks already up and running, nations won't waste precious time scrambling to monitor safety amid chaos. It ties directly into CEPI's 100 Days mission. Check it out at https://cepi.net/cepi-20-and-100-days-mission, pushing for rapid vaccine development against unknown threats. For context, during the COVID-19 pandemic, delays in safety data slowed things down. INNOVATE could prevent that in the future. This project doesn't stand alone. It's part of CEPI's broader push for vaccine safety. For instance, they're funding studies to set baseline rates of side effects tailored to African communities. More on that here. https://cepi.net/establishing-vaccine-safety-benchmarking-africa-African-vaccines, and digging into the biology behind potential adverse events. Explore at https://cepi.net/road-even-greater-vaccine-safety. Boldly put, some critics argue that Western-centric data has long dominated vaccine safety discussions, potentially overlooking regional differences. Could INNOVATE finally level that playing field, or is it just a band-aid on deeper inequities? Designed with flexibility in mind, INNOVATE will link up with local databases in LMICs and scale up easily to fit into larger worldwide monitoring systems down the line. The insights it produces will even feed into CEPI's pandemic preparedness engine. Details at https://cepi.net/building-global-AI-platform-pandemic-preparedness, a cutting-edge AI tool acting like a tireless lab partner. This virtual helper can sift through mountains of data, spot patterns, test ideas, and turbocharge vaccine R&D in ways we couldn't before. Imagine an AI whispering scientific secrets to speed up discoveries. Equity isn't an afterthought here, it's the heart of the collaboration. CEPI, DCVMN, and INCLEN are all in on making sure every bit of knowledge from this project reaches regulators, innovators, and producers globally, fostering a truly shared resource for better health worldwide. Dr. Richard Hatchett, CEPI's CEO, shared his enthusiasm. Setting up this worldwide vaccine safety monitoring system gives us the key background we need to make sense of safety alerts in trials and during public health efforts. With data tuned to specific regions on typical adverse events, we empower decision-makers to move quicker and wiser, speeding up access to reliable vaccines when crises hit. Echoing that, Mr. Rajinder Suri, DCVMN's CEO, highlighted the scale. INNOVATE is trailblazing as the first of its kind, rolling out an active vaccine surveillance system, AVSS, covering 500,000 individuals in 6 mix, which stands for a massive population of 2 billion. I'm certain this will smooth the road for swifter vaccine green lights across these regions. Professor Narendra Kumar Arora, INCLEN's executive director, added depth. Through INNOVATE, we'll build a solid foundation of evidence on how often serious health events occur naturally in mix, events that sometimes get linked to vaccines across all ages. This will guide regulators, makers, scientists, and policymakers to base their choices on facts, enabling faster rollout of safe vaccines in emergencies while keeping public confidence strong. It's set to inspire similar setups in other LMICs. But let's stir the pot a bit. While this sounds like a win for global health, is relying on such networks enough to rebuild vaccine hesitancy in communities scarred by past inequities? Or does it risk overemphasizing surveillance at the expense of broader access issues? What do you think? Will INNOVATE truly bridge the trust gap, or is more needed? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear if you're optimistic or skeptical. And about CEPI. CEPI brings together governments, businesses, philanthropists, and community groups in a dynamic alliance. Their goal: to fast-track vaccines and other biodefenses against epidemic and pandemic dangers, ensuring they're available to everyone who needs them. They've already fueled over 70 vaccine projects or tech platforms targeting high-risk diseases, or the mysterious Disease X. At the core of their strategy is the 100 Days mission, aiming to shrink vaccine development timelines to just 100 days for emerging threats, making the world safer faster. About DCVMN. The Developing Countries Vaccine Manufacturers Network International, DCVMN, unites more than 45 producers from 17 LMICs, delivering over 60% of the world's procured vaccines to 170-plus countries. They focus on empowering Southern vaccine makers via advocacy, skill building, and cutting-edge access, all to guarantee affordable, fair vaccine distribution and craft lasting fixes for today's and tomorrow's health challenges. About INCLEN. INCLEN is a powerhouse in public health research, tackling complex issues through team-based studies that influence policies, programs, and real-world practices. Their network of partners responds nimbly to priorities at national, regional, and international levels, driving meaningful change.